These systems have the same major components as a traditional split system, but with a few very special additional key components, which we're going to review now. So the obvious question is this: how do these units generate heat? Right, they're for air conditioning, right? Well, that is a bit of a trick question. They don't generate heat. They transfer heat, very much like the standard HVAC split system, but instead of transferring heat from the inside to the outside, we're now transferring heat from the outside to the inside. This process is made possible by a very special device called the reversing valve. And here is a claim photo of a reversing valve. All right, notice it can be horizontal or vertical as represented in that graphic there on the right. This photo of a brand new reversing valve, before it was installed. Notice that very unique design with one pipe on one side and three on the other. If you see this component on a condenser, you know you're dealing with a heat pump. Now let's go deeper to really learn how these units work. So here we see a cutaway of a reversing valve. Let's first do a quick review of this unit in cooling mode, all right? Notice the compressor is doing the same thing as it does in a standard condenser, which is to raise the pressure and temperature of the gas refrigerant, which it then sends to the outdoor condenser coil where the heat can be transferred to the air and ejected, right? That's in cooling mode. But now we see this reversing valve in heating mode, and we see that small U-shaped valve inside the unit has slid over to the right, changing the path of the refrigerant. Please note, and this is very important, the compressor is doing the exact same thing as it does in cooling mode, which is to raise the pressure and the temperature of the refrigerant. But notice, it is now directing that hot compressed gas to the indoor coil instead of the outdoor coil. So in this type of system, the evaporator coil becomes the condenser, and the condenser coil becomes the evaporator, now transferring heat from the outside to the inside. In heat pump systems, we usually just refer to them as the indoor coil and the outdoor coil, as they can each function as both a condenser and evaporator, depending on whether we're in cooling mode or heating mode. So I hope that helps you understand how these systems work and why some people just say they work in reverse of a standard condensing unit. And with that explanation, we found the answer to our poll question, and the answer was false. And it was another trick question, right? Because it said generate heat in that question, which is not true. It reverses the flow of refrigerant after the compressor to transfer heat from the outside coil to the end. So I'm not going to give you too much of a hard time on that. I think you got the idea of it reversing the flow of the refrigerant, tricking you a little bit. It's transferring heat, not generating.